this situation, and you can see the ramp to the departures to the right, and to the commuter parking, and it would all be to the left. This airport has been shut down. No one should be heading to Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport right now. You should call your carriers if you are expecting to take off or to pick someone up later on tonight to make sure that that plane is in fact going to be taking off or arriving. And right now, there's probably very little information on all of that as we keep our eyes on the parking garage on the right and Ted Scouten now on the left-hand side. And David, you have some information.
Yeah, this is coming from our colleague Joan Murray, who's actually inside, apparently. She was waiting for passengers. She just had this quick note here. This came in about a minute ago. She was waiting for them to come out of Terminal 2 when suddenly dozens of armed officers came rushing out. We heard reports of more shots fired. They ordered everyone to the ground, down into the ground. After a few minutes, they were moved outside of Terminal 3 at the bottom level, and that is where they are right now. So very much a developing situation. A while ago, we saw cars still going on the upper deck around the airport. Now, no cars being allowed in there as BSO addresses the situation here. We thought this was over. Perhaps it's not.
Ted Scouten, we just saw you a moment ago. I know you've been watching this unfold, and we saw a lot of scrambling going on, a lot of urgency over your shoulder within the last 15, 20 minutes as we heard from Joan reports of other shots fired. What are you hearing?
Well, right now, just to tell you what you're seeing, this is going back into Terminal 1 here, Concourse C. There's people coming from the tarmac area, and they're all going underneath the building. I don't know if it appears as though they may be going in a lower door. I'm not sure, but there are people huddled in place right over here. These are people who are in eye distance or eye view of the garage. They're all hiding behind vehicles. There's more people hiding behind that concrete wall. Just a few moments ago, we were told by the airport spokesman that the airport is now closed, that there'll be no flights coming in and no flights going out. I heard you mention something if a flight was close by, it might be able to land. I'm not sure what the status of that is right now, but we were just told the airport is completely closed. We're told that there are multiple situations going on in multiple locations of the airport. Over here, we see more people. This is over at Terminal 1 again. It looks as though they may be going either underneath the terminal or perhaps back into it. A BSO helicopter is above us right now. A BSO helicopter is above us right now. Not sure what's going on with that, but again, multiple scenes here at the airport, multiple incidents. The airport public information people are trying to kind of get a handle on this and let us know what's going on. That chopper is just landing it just landed on top of the garage. This is the garage between Terminal 1 and 2 and Terminal 4 on the south side of the airport. So a lot going on. Again, we're still waiting. You can see that chopper landing?
We see the chopper landing, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Is this on top of the Hibiscus garage?
That would be the Hibiscus garage, correct. Yeah, that's the middle garage, though.
We have seen police activity on the rooftop of this garage within the last couple of minutes, and there were some reports, Ted, perhaps shots being fired from this garage. Is that something that you shared with us a little while ago?
No, I didn't share that. I heard that too. It wasn't confirmed, but I heard that just as kind of chatter around here. I don't have that confirmed, though.
And on those, one of the pictures that your camera was able to show us gave us a perspective of people who had huddled behind cars. There they are right now. We did see law enforcement there, some of them guns drawn, who are there. Who are those people? What are they doing there, and why are they crouched down like that?
More people are coming over there right now. You can see them just coming underneath the fence, underneath the tape there, and now they're hiding behind cars as well. They were coming from the area of the Hibiscus garage. So they may have been in the garage, maybe trying to get to their cars, or just arriving at the airport, and maybe they were told by law enforcement to get out of there. So now all of them are over here behind cars, using cars as shield. But right now that situation's still going on in the garage. From our vantage point, we're able to see officers checking floors, going upstairs, and walking around that garage. So at this point, no confirmed reports as to what actually is happening inside of the garage there.
Well, these are live pictures once again. People who are evacuating the airport, some of them with their luggage, on what has been a chaotic and tragic day at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. We see people who are walking walking now. There are some shots from Chopper 4 right now of people who are walking along train tracks that go adjacent to the airport. Some of them with their hands in the air. We really don't have a lot of information exactly why people would be asked to evacuate the area like that, but these are live pictures coming to us in Chopper 4. People who are evacuating that area, moving away with their hands in the air. Again, this is a go ahead, Ted.
If they're by those train tracks, that has to be
like a staged event.
Go ahead. I missed what Ted was saying, that those people were coming from a particular concourse. But again, there is a lot of confusion. Quite frankly, we don't have all the answers to be able to tell you exactly what's going on. What I can tell you is that at 12:55 this afternoon, there were calls into BSO of shots fired at Terminal 2 in the baggage claim area. That's the Delta baggage claim area at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. We have since been told that a shooter is in custody. We have also been told that multiple people have been killed and that more people have been injured, perhaps as many as 5 dead, perhaps as many as 8 injured. I don't want to put a whole lot of credence in those numbers just because it's early on, and those numbers can and most likely will change, but those are the early numbers that we can share with you right now. We've been told that the airport is completely shut down. Flights are really not taking off. We have seen a lot of people now, and you can see these pictures live, people evacuating the airport. We had seen people who were evacuated being led back into the terminals, and just within the last half hour or so, a complete turnaround. People who had been allowed back in now suddenly running from other areas of the airport. So this is not confined to Terminal 2 anymore. This is a situation that is impacting multiple areas within Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport, and quite frankly, it's not clear as though whether or not this situation is under control or whether this is an ongoing situation where there is still the potential for more danger for people who are there at the airport. But again, a chaotic and a tragic scene here in South Florida today, David.
Rick, as we look at these live pictures, what's clear is that it's very hard to control the situation. You have thousands of people in this very large area, in various areas, and as soon as the word or someone says something that scares you, you're going to react. And we saw that about 25 minutes ago, people running on the tarmac in various directions. No one had necessarily a certain direction to go in. You know, it wasn't all mass going in one direction. It was running in different directions, which clearly showed the chaos in the situation. At this point, with everybody walking north, it's just wild. All right, so you're looking at pictures now that were recorded a short time ago of people evacuating, just basically getting out of their cars and walking away from the situation here. I can't really recall a time where you get to watch something like this occur on live television, other than, you know, I don't want to say that this is a terrorist attack, and we've kind of gotten confirmation so far that doesn't appear to be that. But the last time I recall watching people run away from a scene, honestly, on live television was September 11th, 2001.
Exactly.
That's what it's certainly.
Psyop.
You know, obviously, it's not
this
of
is a
that
psychological
magnitude,
operation.
but the terror that you are seeing amongst the people, the passengers here, people running, people leaving, fleeing their cars, getting out of there, is certainly a reminiscence of that. And the video that we saw, that we are not sharing on television
County
because,
Sheriff's
frankly, it's
Office.
just too graphic, but the video that we saw from the baggage claim area is just absolutely tragic. This video you're seeing on the right of your screen is from earlier. This is people fleeing from the terminals. Looks like they're headed towards the parking garage in this video. And earlier we heard that people were actually hiding from the parking garage. We actually saw a video of folks live on television crouching behind cars for protection. You saw law enforcement officers and agents with guns drawn, crouching right there with them, in a very scary situation. As we look at the live pictures on the left, you can see where they're sort of scanning the area there of the tarmac. People walking now away from the terminal, making their way to the north side of the airport, heading towards 595. Video on your right, taken a short time ago, of law enforcement running in towards the scene.
As chaotic as it looks,
traumatic day here at the
still
airport, still apparently
controlled.
unfolding. We thought this was concluded shortly after approximately 1:30, 1:45. We got the word that a gunman had been taken into custody, but apparently still some panic from within the airport. The airport completely shut down. Flights not leaving, flights not landing.
I don't know, guys. This looks fake to me.
MIA right now,
It's just
extra
know that sounds crazy, but
being put into place right now to deal with all of this.
There's a lot of markings of a staged
event,
even though all these people at the airport probably don't know what's going on.
All right, so Joan Murray, actually, let's go ahead and talk to Joan Murray. Joan Murray, our colleague. I understand you were inside when all this chaos erupted for a second time.
We had made our way to Terminal 2, the lower level, where they're keeping all the passengers who were there when the original shooting started. And then all of a sudden, we saw dozens of armed officers come storming out of Terminal 2, the lower level. And they ran through the parking lot toward Terminal 3 on the lower level. And then all of a sudden, they started shouting to anyone who was outside in that area to get down on the ground. So we all basically fell to the ground, covered our heads, and were just waiting to see what was going to happen next. We were on the ground for, I'd say, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Those officers who were running with the guns never came back that way. So again, we're not sure exactly what the commotion was going on inside of Terminal 3. We heard reports possibly of another shooting, but nothing was confirmed. After a couple of minutes, some of the officers came out and they herded all of us, which are about, I'd say about 50 people, some journalists, some other people who were waiting outside of the terminal to meet the people who were in Terminal 2. So they have herded all of us over to outside of Terminal 3, where there is a Broward Sheriff mobile command post, and we're all just waiting now there, waiting for the all clear to see if we can go back. I've asked several officers and fire rescue for confirmation on who are they looking for or what may be going on, but we have not gotten any confirmation. It seems to have calmed somewhat, but the bottom level of the airport is completely cordoned off at this point. A few minutes ago, I had spoken to a couple. They were waiting for their granddaughter who was on an Air Canada flight who's stuck on the tarmac out there. They've been stuck for about an hour. They've been communicating with her over the phone. The pilot and the other air personnel are telling them that they may have to fly.
We've been listening in to anchor Rick Fulbaum from station WFOR, the situation there on the ground at Fort Lauderdale Airport. There was one initial shooter, and then police had believed that the situation was under control, but there appears to be another incident. There was some focus placed on a parking garage. We could see people being evacuated and taken to a train track area, a railroad train track area, not far from the airport. Again, you're seeing on the right hand of your screen the parking garage where we believe a great deal of law enforcement attention has been focused. People, again, being evacuated. We can report 5 dead, at least 8 people taken to the hospital. We are getting new details from our law enforcement sources at CBS News saying that the man believed to be the shooter is named Esteban Santiago. Senator Bill Nelson of Florida saying that he was carrying some sort of military ID and believed to be born in New Jersey. Joining me now is retired Sergeant Grant Whitus, who was with the SWAT team, who was first on the scene at Columbine. Sergeant Whitus, when you're looking at the situation unfolding, at first it was
Man,
secure.
This is a staged
now there's
event.
again a great deal of activity taking place. What goes through your mind?
This is a psychological operation happening right in front of my eyes.
An enormous amount of people they're having to deal with, and moving them on the tarmac is a fantastic idea because at least you can control.
It's not a false flag in that it's probably a real event, but it just has a flair of being staged.
Whether they were moving one terminal at a time,
the controlled chaos.
Securing one, moving the next one out there, and then moving them out, the best way to do it. However, like you said, the sources are saying there very well could be a second shooter now that's in that parking area. So we always teach the law enforcement, if you've got one, you've got two. So always plan on dealing with more than one.